Dave Daly right here on the Muskegon Channel. I'm Andy O'Reilly. There's Dave Cackley after a weekend butthurt over Facebook. Um,
Look,
Look, hey,
go ahead.
you're the one that has to recover.
I'm
I
fine.
understand that you were sad because people were picking on you on Facebook, and a group hug was needed.
No,
Because some people tried to have a little fun with you on the social media. And oh,
it was all
before we
hurtful
get into
stuff. It
that,
was all very hurtful, and I am still traumatized by
you know what would have made it more
that.
fun?
What?
If you would have seen the Chihuahuas on AFV last night. They had a whole segment. Oh my God.
Oh wow! Oh my
Barking,
gosh!
yelping,
Mhm.
giving the stink eye, falling down. It was one fell right off a couch.
Oh,
Hysterical. All
mhm.
Chihuahuas. The whole thing.
You are the reason. I'm gonna place some blame on you, not just for the social media stuff,
Yeah.
because Alexa started it, and then you piled on,
Yeah.
and then other people piled on,
Well, that
and then
happens,
other people piled on their piling on. It's because I didn't get some message about Max
Well, when your
over the
baby
next
mama
couple of
wants
weeks.
answers, you got to give her
Well,
answers.
understood, but
And you weren't.
her message didn't go through on my phone, so
I
that was the
I
issue.
find that hard to believe.
It didn't, and in fact, still right now, I still don't think. I think she thought she sent it,
No.
but she did send. And I don't want to cast aspersions on
Okay.
Max's mom, because that would be wrong. And I'm not saying she didn't send it. I just might not have gotten it. In fact, I still don't think I got it. Yeah, I got nothing. I got nothing from her regarding that. So then she tries to reach out on Facebook, and everybody's like, ha 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 ha. You're not paying attention. You're shirking your fatherly responsibilities, all that. And I know everybody was joking. I get it,
No, nobody was joking.
but it was still
We actually had a
hurtful.
sidebar meeting
And
up in Traverse City
uh,
where we all were
uh,
making fun of you.
oh, did you see that? Did you see them up in Traverse City, or no?
Well,
I
we
know it's
may have
big.
seen her, we may have not.
Okay,
There may
right,
be
yeah, okay.
big discussions going on behind your back. There might not
Could
be.
be, could be. It's like, how do we mature this half century old man into being, a little behaving a little bit more as somebody of his advancing years should
Nobody
behave.
was
And
trying to say that.
that's not going. Honestly, I'm taking baby steps.
Yeah.
Everything's a work in progress with me,
Okay.
as it is with society in general.
Right.
But it's like, I'm doing the work. I'm baby stepping. I'm not a
Well, you were
slacker.
sitting at a bar watching
No, I
football.
wasn't.
What?
I wasn't at a bar. I was actually at home with Max,
Okay.
and yeah. Well, then I took him over to his buddy's house to hang out, and then I was left to my own thoughts and devices, and
Right.
that did include uh, a little Kentucky bourbon on the rocks,
Oh boy.
and yeah, about 26 hours of football watching this weekend, which was awesome.
Well,
Even though my Cowboys got dusted last night, but that's all right.
it
It was
happens.
overall
Lions
good.
won. I've been a Lions fan since day
Good
one.
Lord.
I've
Since
loved the Lions, and to stand here and be a Lions fan like I am,
and we'll get into that. We'll get into that.
I
That's
can't
the
wait.
third story.
But
We're getting ahead of ourselves. Um,
hmm,
but yeah, this was it was a good
I will tell you
weekend,
this:
despite the social media angst. Uh,
out of our thread yesterday or the other day on social media, the credibility all stands with me because
right, because
I
you're
see
the
your
most
data
credible.
on the phone, and I
Mhm.
know that you're watching illegal channels.
No, well, it's not that. Well, here's what happens sometimes is Wi-Fi.
No,
Wi-Fi.
that's not it.
That's it usually.
No,
That's usually it.
you're watching illegal channels. You
Yeah,
put the coat hanger on the
that's right.
door and you say, "Just leave me alone for a little while."
No, there you go again. Telling tales outside of school, falsehoods, half truths, disinformation.
No, no,
That's
I
what you're
would
putting out
never.
there, and that's okay. That's okay.
I
You know
would
what?
never.
I support
I
your right.
would
I
never.
support your right to be wrong and put out false stories and make things up out of whole cloth. That's fine. You've got that right. And
Look
what
what I
the
found
hell is
again.
that? What is that?
It's the lie detector. Remember?
Oh,
Came up with the
oh,
lie
oh,
detector.
oh
Let's see.
yeah.
Does Dave watch? Dave says he doesn't watch illegal channels. Let's see what he says. Oh,
Much
You do
hey,
watch illegal channels.
much like there are no illegal people, there are no illegal channels.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Anywho,
do that thing with your wrist again. Show me how you shook that.
what this? Where I do this? Oh, I see what you're doing there. No.
Professional. That's
There
technique,
you
my
go.
friend.
There you
I
go.
know. I know what you spent your weekend doing. All right.
Yeah. All right. Let's get beyond this foolishness and get into the hard news of
Yeah, let's do
the
that.
day. All right. Could be a rough day on Wall Street following the terrorist attacks in Israel over the weekend. The surprise attack by Hamas from the Gaza Strip left over 1,000 dead. U.S. futures declined. Surprisingly, oil prices fell back. They generally trend higher following Middle East conflicts due to that risk of supply disruption. It's always a powder keg when you're talking about that area of the world.
It's been since the Stone Ages, man.
Yeah.
It really has.
Now,
And
Israel has reportedly retaken control of Gaza, but this thing is going to be ongoing for a while. And anybody thinking there's going to be a two-state solution to this, it's not going to happen.
Ongoing for a while.
It's not going to happen.
It's ongoing in perpetuity.
Yes.
Okay? All right. So to be surprised or to think that the whole world's going to turn into is going to cave in over something like this,
no.
Cooler minds need to prevail. Okay.
That never happens.
I know that.
So, but here's and this goes back. This is something some people just miss, and I'm going to educate people.
All right, and then I'm going to educate people.
This is where my religion. This is where my.
I'm going to point out where opportunistic people take advantage of situations like this. Go ahead.
Where my minor in religion comes in.
Yes.
You've got the three big religions in the world.
The big three.
Okay, this doesn't mean there aren't other ones. I don't want anybody. These
can't
are the
even
big
count
three.
how many religions are in this world.
Yeah, you got, but the big three.
Big three.
The big three: Judaism, Christianity, Islam. Okay, and they're in that order as far as age goes. Okay, and now Christianity, of course, we had the Crusades. You had each one has its own growing pains.
Yep.
Big mess with the Crusades, right? You got to keep in mind, and I have said this before, but people tend to forget this. Christianity is about 600 to 700 years older than Islam.
Yep.
Okay, Islam is where Christianity was back during the Crusades. That doesn't mean most. Now, most have kind of modernized, mainstreamed their viewing of Islam. I'm talking. I've got Muslims in my family.
Yep.
I've got Jews in my family.
Yep.
Okay, so I understand this. Most have. However, there is a faction, however small you want to say it is, and it's debatable how small or how large. You can debate, discuss that. It is loud. And it does lend itself to these attacks because this is a holy war. That's what this is. And this is hardwired into people.
Yes.
There's an idea, and this goes beyond religion. This goes to people's different philosophies, whatever they may be. They're so hardwired. You're not going to reprogram. There's a lot of talk about we need to reprogram this group of people or that group of people. That's not going to happen.
Nope.
Because these things are hardwired in. They're baked in. Whatever your philosophy is, that doesn't mean you can't. That doesn't mean you can't evolve. That doesn't mean. But you're not going to all of a sudden. We'll change them. Nope. That's not going to happen.
Nope.
So that's why this is going to continue this, because this is a part of who human beings are, and we just have to deal with that.
Okay.
That's it.
My turn.
Go ahead.
This is also not a time for an opportunistic person seeking more attention to throw the blame on an entire country called the United States and its leader, calling him weak, and then an attack like this happened because of our perceived weakness. That's a mess. That's a bad idea. And that is ineffective leadership. And here's the thing. That is somebody pushing people who are already on the edge within our country to act more like what we're seeing with this faction of Islam and militarize people within this country. So for somebody to stand on the outside, on the periphery of everything that's going on, even though he's very loud, to stand there and say, this was because
Just say his
America's
name.
weak. It's got
Just
nothing to
say,
do with it. But
just
there
say
are
his name.
opportunistic people out there who will try and direct those that follow them into a hole farther down the rabbit hole and get us in deeper trouble because he wants power and it's bad. And if people can't
Everybody's
start
gonna do
smelling this
this.
bullshit, it's
Look,
really time to start waking up.
okay.
It really is.
Okay. You're talking obviously about Trump. Okay. Obviously, that's who you're talking
Obviously.
about. But that said, and I can't let you say, because that goes on. It wouldn't matter if Trump was the president, the
I know
reverse
that.
would be happening. The reverse would be happening. So
If
you
it
can't
if
you
it was
can't put
John
it on
McCain
one
standing
guy.
there telling us that America's weak and this happened because of that, I'd have the same attitude. It's
The
just
thing is,
it's
you
not
got
that,
there's some truth to what both sides are saying, and there is some truth to we don't have our eye on the ball all the time. We just don't.
we can't.
We're caught. Yeah, you're right. We can't.
He
Okay,
didn't
but
have his eye on the ball when a
right. He was a
virus
part
hit.
of this. Here's the thing. Oh, that would whoever was in office was going to have to deal with that. That's not. I'm not going to blame. No matter, just like I'm not going to blame the current administration for getting everything wrong after that too. He got it wrong going into it, and the current president got everything wrong post that. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
there's very little debate over any of that, and I get accused of both sidesism on this, but this is just the political reality. Something like this happens. There's an old adage in politics: you never let a good crisis go to waste, and this is another crisis. Pandemic was a crisis. Both sides didn't let that go to the waste. You use it as a political uh, object to bash your opponents over the head. Trump's doing that now. Biden did that earlier. This is just what you do. This is just part of the political game. Now, at the end of the day, though, whether you're talking Republicans or Democrats, everybody is in favor of supporting Israel in this. And the interesting thing is going to be, what are we going to do about what's going on between Russia and Ukraine? Are we going to because we can't fund both.
Nope.
And I think what you're going to see is like the Ukraine Russia thing now that because Israel is our chief ally over there, that's where our focus is going to be. And I don't know. See, I don't know, and I don't even know. I don't know what I trust about anything going on. I just don't know. I'm always. This happened. This is not a false flag. This happened. But how we deal with this now,
Yep.
post attack, because this was a 9/11 style attack. Make note, this was from a population standpoint, it was actually worse because Israel is not the country population wise that the U.S. is. So it's just going to be hard to get a handle on. But the idea that political opportunism, that's another thing that's baked into the cake.
Ugh.
That's just going to happen. And you can be upset at it. You can roll your eyes at it, and all deserved. But at the end of the day, that's what both parties are going to do.
All right.
They're going to take advantage of that because that's what they do, because they're dirty politicians. What do you expect?
Okay.
I would expect nothing else. Moving on, excessive drinking during the pandemic has led to skyrocketing rates of alcohol-related liver disease. Transplant centers across the country are reporting more patients in need of transplants than ever before. Historically, most patients are older men in their 60s. Now patients are often in their 20s and 30s, with cases in women on the rise as well. As I've said before, all things in moderation.
When's your
a
appointment?
lot of people can't moderate. For what?
Your liver transplant.
For the 1 to 2 drinks I have on the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't even average a drink a day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even average that.
Denial.
Finally,
Denial.
as we teased earlier, another big win for the Lions. Detroit puts up a 40-burger and rolls Carolina 42-24, and it wasn't that close. That's 3 straight wins by 2 touchdowns or more for Motown. Lions improved to 4-1. Good, of course, for first place in the NFC North. They're going to travel to Tampa Bay to take on the surprising 3-1 Bucks next Sunday. I watched San Francisco dismantle my Cowboys last night. The Lions aren't as good as San Francisco right now, but they're the only team I've seen, and that includes the Philadelphia Eagles, who are undefeated right now.
Love the Philadelphia Eagles. What?
Detroit.
I wasn't paying
has a
attention. What are we
puncher's
talking
chance.
about?
Detroit has a puncher's chance to beat Frisco, I think,
Oh, that's
down the
wonderful.
road.
I love that.
We'll see. Okay.
How'd Michigan do?
Okay. Michigan, meanwhile, rolls Minnesota 52-10.
4-0.
Still haven't played any.
Undefeated.
5-0.
Incredible. Hail to. Hey, I was cleaning my
Look.
desk. Now that we're talking about Michigan, I'm going to pay attention.
Okay.
Let's
Okay.
talk about how many astronauts Michigan has put on the
Again,
moon.
Again,
U of
nobody
M.
cares. Nobody
Everybody cares.
about our alleged moon landings.
No.
Or the space program.
Everybody cares.
Unless we're going to go to Mars.
We're going to
Until
Mars.
we go to Mars. Wake me up when Elon sends us to Mars.
I'll tell you what. You wake me up when September
I
ends.
got nothing.
All right.
I'll get together with Green Day and we'll try and get that done for you. Michigan, again, we don't know how good Michigan. I still think they might be the best team in the country. I still don't know because every team they play is equivalent to the Sisters of the Poor. It's
here's
ridiculous.
What we'll talk.
They have not played a good team yet.
Here's what you need to know.
But they might be the best team. I just don't know.
Here's what you need to know. Okay. Not only are they the best team in the state, they're the best team in the country. They're the best team in the universe. They're the best team of all time ever because they're the University of Michigan. You get that?
Okay.
Has that sunk through your pointed head yet?
Aside from Anthony Carter, you can't name a single Michigan player past or present. So your judgment on this said, oh, look at you. That's 2.
See?
Can you name a third? That's
yes,
ever played.
I can. Bill Jones.
Okay.
He played in 1983.
Right. There you go. Right.
He was a red
Texas beats Baltimore. Oh, look at you pulling out a red shirt. I don't think you know what the term red shirt means, but kudos to you for using it.
Yeah.
Texas beats Baltimore 11-8. They lead that series 2-0. It was Minnesota evening their series with Houston in the divisional playoffs 6-2. That series tied at a game apiece. That's sports.
$200 today in Jeopardy, my friend.
Yeah.
And it's foreign words and phrases. We all know how you feel about foreigners.
Yeah, I'm all inclusive. Let them in. Just speak the language.
Yeah, you are.
That's it.
Okay, good. In the original Italian, this coffee drink with steamed milk had cafe before it.
In the original Italian, a cafe latte.
Oh, the man gets himself 200. Way to start off a Monday. Look at you.
I'm
200. 800 in the hole. 52,000.
I'm not really confident about that after my debacle last week. It's been.
I don't even remember last week, but I'm sure it was a debacle. If you say it was a debacle,
I tried to turn it.
It was a debacle.
I tried to turn it into it. You know what? That's in the past. Thank you for acknowledging. That's all in the past.
That was
I don't
yesterday.
Need to think about that. Let's live in the now.
Now.
Let's live in the now and live in the. Let's be present.
Still got a pecan pie here for you.
No thanks.
You sure?
Pecans are gross.
Pecans are wonderful.
No, they're not. They're gross.
Don't go to Georgia and say that. You'll end up in a trunk.
I avoid the South.
All right.
See ya.
Welcome back, Muskegon. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend, and it looks like fall-like weather is here to stay, so let's take a look at your forecast brought to you by Trinity Health. Starting out with your weather headlines, temperatures will be holding in the 50s this week. Normal highs this time of year are in the mid-60s, so we will be several degrees cooler than average. And then thanks to Lake Michigan and also several storm systems nearby, we'll pretty much just see mostly cloudy skies, if not overcast skies, the rest of the week, with rain arriving by Thursday, lasting into Saturday. Our temperatures today will, like I said, hold into the low to mid 50s, and that stretch will continue for pretty much the rest of the week as well. So for your Monday, expect a high of 54 with mostly cloudy skies, if not overcast skies during the afternoon, Going overnight will be completely overcast with a low of 48, and it will be breezy at times as well today with winds out of the west-northwest. Looking into the longer term forecast, this is this Friday through next Tuesday, the 17th, and it looks like we'll be just slightly cooler than average here in the Great Lakes region, which means most of the time highs will be in the 50s, maybe as warm as the lower 60s. And you can see that on our 7-day forecast with really the warmest temperature in the next 7 days being only 60 degrees. So it's quite a drop from what we've been seeing the past several weeks. And we'll likely stay dry until Wednesday with highs staying in the low to upper 50s. Then by late in the day on Thursday, rain will probably arrive, and it will be very rainy and windy on Friday. So if you have any Friday plans, make sure you know of that. And rain will likely last into Saturday as well. Some models are giving us maybe as much as 3 inches of rain during that 3-day period. So it looks like a pretty rainy and wet end to this week. And that's your Monday forecast, brought to you by Trinity Health on the Muskegon channel. And I'm Colin Woods Weather, and enjoy your week.